Hi, this is Patrick, who plays Dillon and Jamie Johnson, and I'm really excited to be here at the Wycombe Wanderers training ground with Adebayo Akinfenwa. You've obviously had a big journey in football.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think are the most important turning points on your journey in football that inspired you to kick on?
So I started my career at Lithuania. 18-year-old black footballer, went out to a country. I was the first black person in the league. At that time, I suffered racial abuse at that time, and we're looking, there weren't no iPads. You know what I'm saying? Laptops were mad expensive. There was no iPhones. So when you was away, you was away. It's funny because I remember at the age of probably 5 was when I told myself, look, I want to be a footballer, So like anything, like any young player, you go with your trials and tribulations. I had trials. I was getting rejected. And I think at the age of 17, I had a trial at Watford. And they let me go. I was there for 9 months. They said, we're not going to sign you. And then a Lithuanian team came in, and I was like, look, football's what I want to do, and whatever angle or journey or avenue I need to take, I'm going to take it. So I went out to Lithuania, and it's weird because for all the trials and tribulations I had out there, with the racial abuse, being alone, being isolated, not knowing the language, I'm so glad that I did it because it shaped me. And yeah. I say what I took from there was knowing that no matter what situation comes before me, I'll be able to persevere. Lithuania was testing. It was testing, to say the least, but I'm glad I went through it. How I look at it in life, I believe that every day is a learning experience. And everywhere I've been, everybody that I've encountered, I've tried to take something. Not sometimes you don't carry it anywhere, but I think every day is a learning day. So I learned at FK Atlantis when I was in Lithuania. I learned at Barry Town. And then I did the long journey into the Football League, signed for Leyton Orient. And then Doncaster was where I kind of, made my name, scored some goals there. And then a year at Torquay, 2 years at Swansea, broke my leg, and then Northampton, Millwall in between. But look, everybody's got a story, everybody's got, and that was mine. And then to date, being the beast.
I used to play for Leicester and Coventry when I was a lot younger, but I was quite skinny then.
Yeah.
I was quite small and skinny, and then like you say, I filled out a bit. I didn't really grow tall wise, but I growed out. So
did you feel that you being small played a role in the sense where they looked at you and said you're basically too small to play football?
I think definitely to an extent, because a big part of my game has always been tackling.
It's funny. So people have been saying I've been too big.
Yeah.
People were saying you're too small.
On the opposite side of the spectrum.
So how did you deal with the rejection?
Well, to be fair, I think my dad, my parents were good about it. My dad never made it a big deal or anything. Yeah. He was just sort of, you were there for a bit, you come out, this sort of thing happens. So at the time, it wasn't a big deal. It's over the years where you look back and think, I had a really good opportunity there. Yeah. Fair enough, at the time I wasn't good enough, so I can take that on board. But it does motivate you, like you say, you want to become better. But, you do sort of think, what if I commit everything to this and don't make it?
First and foremost, if you're going to commit. And don't be afraid to commit. You can't be afraid to fail. Literally, you should only be afraid to never commit. Failing in life is as given as day turns to night, night turns to day. It's literally every single person who's had a story has failed along the way. So don't ever worry about failing. You know what I mean? And once you commit and you believe in yourself, do it to prove yourself right. Forget proving others wrong.
What's the best goal you've ever scored in any game, any level?
Oh, best goal I've ever scored. They said if you don't record it, it never happened. I scored a bicycle kick. People may not believe that. I did once, but I don't think there's any footage, so people say it never happened. I liked the goal I scored last season, actually, at home against Newport. Chest volley, told the guy stay there, pull it on my chest and volleyed it in. That was probably the best goal I scored. I think my favourite goal was probably the penalty I scored at Wembley when we got promoted with Wimbledon.
What was it like playing against Liverpool, obviously the club you supported as a boy?
You know, the worst thing is, it was the most nervous and exhilarating feeling I could imagine. I always say, if you can't play for the team you support, I guess to line up against them is the next best thing. you know, and I stood up, standing next to Gerrard,
Bullied
Coutinho. I bullied him,
bullied-
you know.
you did
I
bully
didn't
Skirtle.
even want to
I
bully
watched
him.
the game,
No,
yeah.
but for me, and I even remember scoring. I think for like a split second, I was like, "What do I do? What do I do?" All right, brother.
Yeah, all right.
Thank you
Cheers
for
for
having
that,
me, my
man.
brother.
Thank you.
Blessings.
Sweet.